All right, my take in meeting Giuliano, the new Teranode CEO, yesterday in Silicon Valley there in Palo Alto. Let me recap on that, give you a little background on who this guy is and the significance that I think he's going to bring into the industry, the overall blockchain industry. So let's recap. So yesterday, I got the opportunity to sit down with Giuliano. He's the new Teranode CEO. Teranode Group has announced its launch of a company, the appointment of Giuliano, Italian last name, as its Chief Executive Officer. Now, it's a global organization with significant experience in blockchain sector, intellectual property, and vertical solutions in advanced blockchain enterprise adoption. So he's got an amazing background. Now, I know nothing about this guy until this meeting, and I did a little bit of research, and I'll read what I hear, what I am privy to share, and what's online here, and also kind of talk about the story that what we discussed and my impression. So, he basically he's a tech business development guy, okay? And actually, ironically, the restaurant that Escrip, Xiaowei Lu, and I had met him at, this is Palo Alto, was the same steakhouse that he met with in Silicon Valley in 1998 at like his, just a very big, it was an important origin of time in him in Silicon Valley and tech experience. I don't know if it was when he was with HP at the time or one of the tech companies down there. And he had a big meeting down there at the same exact restaurant, just coincidentally. We'd set it up, Xiaowei set it up, and it was just, kind of a nostalgic for him. So very synchronicity about the meeting. I'd see he basically at the place thinking that he's not from there at all. And he'd been there in 1998 at the beginning of this whole giant tech, before the .com. I mean, think about it. It was synchronicity for him. It was basically I'd say that was the way he described it, being at the same restaurant. So we sit down and, I wanted to know like his whole story. Like what's he doing here? What's his deal? What's his role? Who is he? And asked his questions. First of all, he's like, I would say, tenacious, pleasant to be around, happy, positive, aggressive. And overall, so I asked him, I said, what's your story? And he worked with, I'll kind of go back on it. I mean, I'll tell you the bio here just briefly, but also a key story that he mentioned. So he worked with AtlasEdge, Chief Executive Officer. He was the digital strategy and business development segments at Digital Realty, Interexon, Chief Marketing and Strategy Officer, the VP Data Center Cloud Marketing at Cisco Systems. One of the stories he shared was his time at Cisco and how it was somewhat relevant to now, because first of all, he was contacted. All right. He didn't apply. He wasn't on the market. In fact, he was rather shocked and rather surprised because he wasn't looking by being contacted by a headhunter or recruiter like about this. Okay. And so it was rather, he said he was rather surprised. He was targeted about this. It was very calculated. So someone wanted him, set up a meeting. He knew nothing about blockchain, nothing about Bitcoin, zero. Tech guy, incredible tech, detailed software background, but it was an industry that he never looked at once, he said. Never looked at it. Wasn't on his radar. The Cisco Systems story, though, when he was doing business development at Cisco, and he was the head of Data Center Cloud Marketing, Vice President. So at this time, he was responsible for product and solution marketing for an $8 billion business development and data center infrastructure at Cisco. And so what he said was that it's all about the customers selling the business. And what Cisco was doing at that time was going into routers. And with the routers, they had no experience. They had no reputation with routers. They were a household name, but they had no knowledge about it, no customers about it. And what what he did was he got a household name as a customer, did a proof of concept with them, worked on that, rolled it out with a big name. And with that, it was Disney. With that Disney name, they came in and did a conference, like a big, a big conference center. And at that, it was really Disney, the customer, that sold the adoption of their own use case. He didn't even have to sell it. And people came to the conference and they were just like, wow, you have this great customer, Disney, and they're benefiting from it tremendously and sharing their story. And that's what drove massive adoption. And that is 100%, the strategy here that I see him going after. His role in this whole thing is adoption, use, customer use of the blockchain industry. And, he's completely removed from the old paradigm with that a lot of people who probably watch this video have been through. So I asked him a little bit about some of the old stuff, but he honestly had not even, he's like, it's not relevant for me to go down that rabbit hole and find out about old things that are not going to help us succeed going forward. Just all the history and some of the things that, when the time comes, I'm sure he'll learn and know. But right now, his focus is about adoption and customers using the blockchain, enterprise adoption, getting customers. And there's an incredible strategy behind it, which I'm not going to share, definitely under non-disclosure about some of the things I could discuss. But I will just say that there's a very, very strong strategy at play right now, aggressive, and put it this way, it is a freaking exciting time. I'm hesitant to share too much more than that on how this all played out, with respect for him, because he gave me the permission that I could talk about meeting him and take a picture. But at the same time, the overall things that we discussed are going to be sealed at this time. So, but I'm sure they'll come out in the future. He did say that he's planning on a big London blockchain conference. It's going to be in October. Some big announcements at that time with some really big goals coming out. Was that about 6 months out? So if you're going to be in London or planning on it, it would be a smart time to plan ahead, because it sounds like that's going to be a major target. Now, again, this is what would be considered like the new N-Chain CEO. Okay. So N-Chain, the name Teranode is still pending, whether or not that's going to be the name. So there's no marketing that's going on with this right now. In fact, that's why I'm kind of dancing around even talking about this too much, because right now he wants to operate in the background and just do what he does best and make things happen. He's not out here trying to, get on YouTube and do interviews and podcasts and all that. That's not what it's about right now. Okay. At all. In fact, that's not going to happen. So maybe in the future, but right now the focus is customers, business, adoption, inside sales, the way he knows how to do it, the old school way, with his own expertise. So I will say that it's, dude, he's the right guy for the job. Put it that way. Really great attitude. Awesome meeting him. I would say, overall, there's a lot to look forward to. I didn't ask him about, I'm not going to go there. Okay. Anyways, overall, highly enjoyed meeting him. I think there's going to be a lot more to come. This is a guy to keep your eye on and what happens. I don't think we'll hear too much until London blockchain. That's really my hunch here. There's going to be a lot happening in the background with him, meetings, and the Teranode rolling out, which looks like it's rolling out in Q2 here. And with that, I don't think there'll be a lot of marketing. I really don't. But I believe there'll be something big to look forward to in London blockchain on this, as customer adoption of blockchain and use case starts to happen, because that's really the major thing. Is like, how are people going to benefit? How are customers going to benefit from using the blockchain? What's in it for them? And really it just takes there's already a lot of customers using it, but I'm talking like household name, okay? Household name customer using it. That's what we want right now. A major household name, Fortune 100 company, something like that, using, that's really the target. Because when that happens, that other things start opening up. People need blockchain adoption. Once they see this, it's all going to come together. Anyways, exciting times. Hit the ones. I want to give my just perspective on meeting Giuliano, the new CEO, Teranode announcement in Palo Alto with Scrypt. We had a great time, and I will hit the ones. Be sure to subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. I definitely want to do a Q&A coming up here on all the comments. And also Babbage on Friday, it looks like. I got Babbage coming up on Friday again. That's going to be on X. So looking forward to that with my man Ty, and going to do a live session on X with questions. All right, that's it. Gavin Mehl, I'll see you at the top. Thank you.